Yo, I got over 30 cars in my Turo fleet now, and I've been through just about anything you can think of when it comes to claims, damages, cars stolen, all that, right? So here's some advice to help you stay ahead of the game so you don't lose money in this situation. Actually, it's not advice at all. I'm just gonna share ways that I reason and make decisions for my business, and that might help you. I'm gonna start by saying that I have two cars right now that have been wrecked by Turo renters that are both in body shops. And they're bad. So both of them are over 5,000. One's like 5,600, the other one's like 7,500. So my car's on the 90 plan, which means that I have a $2,500 deductible on both of those cars. I gotta pay $5,000 to get my cars fixed. See, I know $5,000 might seem like a lot, and it might cause some people to not want to do this at all, but it all depends on how much money your business is making and what insurance plan you're set up on if you're using Turo. When people first hear that, you probably think I'm going to lose $5,000, right? That's a $5,000 hit, but it's really not, because what I do is I compare it to being on the 75 plan where the deductible is $250. From me going from the 75 to the 90, I actually increased I just got distracted. Somebody just hit somebody else's car over here at their door. He is pissed, right? But anyway, going from the 75 to the 90, it makes a lot of sense in my case. So I want to run real numbers to give you guys an example. If I make $34,000 gross with Turo this month, that's before they take their fees out of it. That's about $30,000 to me. Now on the 75 plan, that same 34,000, you would make about 25,500. So you're looking at about 4,500 more that I make every month by going from the 75 plan to the 90 plan. Now let's say you're making 10,000 a month on Turo, right? That's gross before they take their cut. If you're on the 90 plan, you're gonna make 9,000 of that 10. If you're on the 75 plan, you're gonna make 7,500. So the spread between that 7,500 and the 9,000 is what, 1,500? So now that margin's more slim, and you really just have to decide if you're willing to take on that chance of being on a 90 plan, making the extra 1,500, and then taking care of that deductible out of pocket if something were to happen. So I could use reasoning to decide to go with a higher insurance deductible and get more of the money per month, because I know it's going to equal out to making more money in the long run. And I hope that makes sense, or I explained that well enough, but stick with me, all right? So I got 4,500 extra. If every single month from here on out, I have a big damage claim that's over 2,500 and I have to pay 2,500, I'm still ahead because I have 4,500 extra margin to work with. You see what I'm saying? Now, it still doesn't feel good to get hit with, damage claims where you have to pay a large deductible to get the car fixed, but I know in the long run that it still makes sense, so I still don't get upset if someone damages the car and I have to pay a deductible. Plus, having a car damaged bad enough to be over 2,500 is actually rare. It doesn't happen as often. So I know that's not going to happen every single month, and I know the ones that do happen are likely to be less than that amount. But there's more factors you got to think about. One, the type of cars you rent out. How often do your cars get wrecked? When I switched from renting out sports cars, took all the sports cars away, went straight luxury cars and economy cars, my accidents went way down because people aren't driving the cars fast to go out and try to, race or anything like that. So now I know that the accidents are less often. I can take more risk. I usually don't recommend people that have just a couple cars on Turo to go with the 90 plan unless you're willing to lose money and you have a larger emergency fund put away to where if something happens, you can just pay it out of pocket. You're okay with losing that. But even then, I look at that as too risky for a real business owner. So if you only have a few cars, couple cars, I would say stick to one of those 75 or 60 plan until you add more cars, and then you can take on more risk. But I was lucky enough this month to have 2 damage claims that were over 2,500 each, which means I have to pay that $5,000. So, but again, it's not that often, even though I have 2 of them right now. So you got to really understand insurance when you get into rental cars. I didn't expect to become an expert in this, but I know way more than I ever thought I would or even wanted to, honestly. And you have to work the claims differently depending on the situation. So some claims are worked directly through Turo, some claims I work directly with the renters, some claims I work directly with my commercial insurance, which for most people would be your personal policy if you don't have commercial insurance yet. But let me know if this information was helpful for anybody on here. I'm just talking right now and trying out a new form of content, but let me know. Comment below.